Welcome everyone to the Your Little Castle Show. If you're ever going to make a house into a castle, it's your outdoors that got to look dynamite. Am I right here, guys? Am I saying this is true?
Absolutely.
Well, we wanted to bring some experts into the building today that can talk to us about making the outdoors look like that beautiful castle you want. Your outdoor lifestyle. You have a lifestyle outside, a little different from the inside. The outside, you got your own lifestyles. We've got the guys from Outdoor Lifestyles here. We got Marcus offset here. He's going to come join us for the second set. Karl and Tanner here with me as we chat here for a little bit of our show. But we want to find out what it takes to make a house. We got some pictures we're going to show for you guys. That pool up there, I'm like, I just want to dive in that thing. It looks beautiful. And but making the outdoors everybody's dream castle, right?
Yep. That's right.
All right. Tell me then, and I guess Karl, you're the one who helped start this thing a long time ago. Tell me the background. Why did you decide to get in this? How did you decide that this is where you wanted to go with your career?
I wasn't really sure, but I was brought up, and my yard, as grown up as a kid, was always a beautiful yard. And my home now has a nice yard, and I thought, you know what? Let's make everybody else's yards cool too. So wasn't really sure what I wanted to do 15 years ago, so I got involved in doing hardscape and fences and everything else that we do now, outdoor kitchens, and it's just grown into a heck of a business. We stay busy.
Well, tell me, Tanner. I mean, you're obviously something that had a lot of the impetus behind this to make this thing continue to carry on. You're taking over here. What's it like building these kinds of just incredible structures for people?
You know, it's fun. We get to kind of bring people's dream to their backyard, especially when they don't really have guidance. You know, we get to come in there and build designs, build pools, build kitchens. I mean, anything you can imagine. Somebody dreams it up, from turf to, bocce ball courts. It's fun. It's fun to do, and it's exciting.
So bocce ball, I mean, turf. I mean, do you get putting greens? You can do just about anything that somebody can imagine. You guys can put it together for somebody.
Putting greens. We've done slides, water features, waterfalls, all kinds of cool stuff. It's definitely fun.
Well, tell me, Karl, if you will, what was it that kind of led you to this? You said this. You gave me a little bit of a background there, but when you really decided this is where you wanted to go with everything.
Well, I've only been in the hardscape business as an owner for the last 15 years or so, but I've been involved in the hardscape business, just helping other people. I did my own patio with my sons and my wife, and I was working another job, and that kind of fell through, and I thought, let's do this.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do it. And let's see where I can take it. And I started a company with my brother-in-law, and we did extremely well with it. And we kind of went our separate ways a couple of years ago. And now I've got my sons involved in the company, and I'm going to hand the company down to them somewhere down the road. And it's I don't know how I decided to do it. I just like to build stuff, and now it's kind of cool because I don't touch anything.
Well, you've got some excellent help, you've trained these guys
Right.
to do the work, and it seems that you obviously know what you're doing. I've seen lots of people talking wonderfully about you, lots of great words that people, if you look at what people say on Facebook, you're A-rated on the BBB. You guys really put this thing together. This thing started off as something that might have been a side thing, like most of us.
Right.
I didn't start off having a TV show. One day I said, hey, I think I can do this, and I took the leap. I was working for somebody else doing something else, and just said, go for it. And here you are 15 years later, and an incredible list of clients. I know you've been doing. How many structures do you think you've built over the years that you can say, well, yeah, we took that, and you should see the before and after?
Well, it depends, because we do small jobs that might only take us a day, but then we do big jobs that might take us 2 months.
2 months.
So who knows how many jobs we've done in the last 15 years, but we stay busy. I mean, I don't really know how to answer that question.
Well, I'm gonna throw
because there's a whole different realm. Every job's different.
Sure.
And what's kind of cool about us though is because we'll do a small job, and we'll do a job up to $1 million. We can do them all.
Okay.
And we're one stop. In other words, we will use subcontractors like plumbers, electricians, skilled tradespeople, that we can't do because of inspections and permitting and things of that nature. But we do everything ourselves for the most part.
So Tanner, what's it like taking this over? You're the guy now responsible for being in front of the customers. Your brother helps you behind the scenes. You've got a lot of pressure here because you've got so much a good reputation over the years. It seems like it's working out for you.
Yeah, when you go from doing it and actually constructing the stuff like I did for 10 years, about 12 years actually, you gotta get to see the other side of it. You know, what he used to do for so many years, now I get to create the design, create that with a customer, and build it. You know, before I was in the field, I was stuck on one job. Well, I'm seeing 5, 6, 7 jobs a day now. And everybody's yards are getting changed at the same time. It's a little overwhelming, but you know what? It's actually really exciting to see it all happen so fast. You know, you start with someone's backyard that could be just a dirt or grass backyard, and you're really transforming it, and it could be a week or months.
And you really get to turn these into that beautiful, like we said, the title of the show, everybody, we're talking about it, your little castle. I know a lot of people like to have the beautiful kitchen, the bathroom, etc., the downstairs, but when you get to go outside, that's when you really get to enjoy, especially if you've got that location where you've got a little bit of land, you can put some landscaping up, you get the railroad ties or whatever it is you want to build your retaining walls. I mean, how much work do you really put in each one of these jobs? It's got to be a tremendous amount of work and have a lot of heavy lifting. You can tell Tanner and Marcus, these guys come from a father. They're strong guys. They can handle the work here.
Yeah, you really, I mean, what we do is extremely taxing on your body. And the guys we have, I mean, our crews are second to none. I mean, you can't even, we are the top quality. I mean, it's really cool to see the backyards, the details from plants to lights to just every little thing coming together. I mean, it's really, it's cool to see, but it's a lot of heavy work and it's fast, you know?
And it moves quick. And when you're working on these things and you see the projects coming together, that's what leads to my next question. What about this fuels your passion for what you get to? You get to see somebody's castle built for them right in front of their eyes. Take it from something that was like, okay, we got some grass here and a driveway, but that's about it, and turn it into an oasis.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the things that I like about this business so much is because you get to meet so many different people. I'm a people person. I love to talk. Ask them; they'll tell you. And once you talk to somebody for a couple minutes, I pretty much have a pretty good idea on whether or not we're going to be working for these people or not, because we're pretty straightforward, and we do what we're supposed to do. When we tell a customer we're going to have this done at this date and this done, we stay on schedule. Now you can't control rain.
Sure.
No way, you can't do that. Not in our line of work, outdoor work. But I really like the people, and I think that's why I stayed with the kind of work that we do, because I mean he does what I used to do for many years. But when you're meeting 3 or 4 or 5 different families each day, and talking to them about whether it's just plants in their front yard or $500,000 project in their backyard, you get to know them.
Right.
And I think as long as you're honest and you're upfront, and there's no, I can't say that word,
shenanigans.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. People like that, you know, and we just tell the truth. We just tell people how it's going to be, and this is what it's going to cost, and this. We'll do it for you if that's what you choose.
See our background, see our work. And so, well, that's why I wanted to highlight you guys on the show, is because it really comes down to there's so many businesses out there that do such incredible work. So take out your pencil, everybody. I've got the pencil here, and write down outdoor lifestyles, because these are guys who are really showcasing some great work, but they don't get to. You're not buying billboards and putting it on national television networks for 30-second commercials 15 times an hour. You guys are really just doing the ground level. We wanted to put a spotlight on you to help you help other people understand what it takes to have a local small business that comes up, family owned, and put something together that everybody can appreciate.
We're very fortunate. Ever since I started the company with my brother-in-law years ago, we've always done quality work. And we've never had to advertise, ever. Everything we do is word of mouth. And it's kind of nice. It really is. We just got a good thing going. And hopefully it continues, and these guys better do their job.
A little pressure on you there, guys. What do you think, Tanner? So you guys, we talked a little bit. You've had a couple clients that really stood out in your mind. Give me some feedback that you've heard from a couple of past jobs that you've worked on, and where somebody said, well, this really turned out nice.
I became really good friends with a couple. They live in town and country. I'm not going to give you any names, but to give you an example, that job, the original contract was around $190,000.
Wow.
By the time we left that house, they'd spent over $600,000.
Wow.
And it's
Holy cow.
because of who I am. And they actually told me that.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. They said we can trust you. So when you have clients like that and they believe in you,
Sure.
your company's going to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's that was the coolest project I ever did, to be honest with you, because it was like, okay, we're going to go put the spa in for these people, and we're going to do a paver patio. Well, hell, then it grew into a huge ordeal. Bocce ball court.
Bocce ball court.
This is the coolest bocce ball court in St. Louis, I'll guarantee you.
All right.
Guarantee you.
Okay, so what's that like? I mean, is a matter of putting these kinds of projects when somebody starts off, when they're starting off at 190,
Yeah.
$190,000 they're starting off, and then they turn into 600,000. That's more than what most people spend on a house. Yeah, there's some trust built there. Some
Yeah,
relationship.
that's exactly what it is. In fact, that's make a long story short, they changed the scope of the job by almost $90,000 the first week that we were there.
Right.
And I asked her, I said, are you guys in town this weekend? And she goes, well, yeah, is there a problem? I said, I don't think so, but I need to talk to you.
Right.
So I told her what they'd done to themselves. They'd omitted like $11,000, but then they added like 90. And I just wanted them to know where they were so that there's no surprises. We don't like to surprise people. And we like to let them know what they're doing to themselves. And that way, as long as they're comfortable with spending the amount of money that they're talking about spending, we'll build it. But I don't want to build something for somebody that can't afford it. And I don't want them stressing. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I can imagine that it's because we were talking about there's your big dollar items here. You're not talking about $60 here and $100 here. You're talking about $10,000 here and $12,000.
Yeah.
How often do people get caught up with that, where they're going, "Hey, go ahead and do that and add that and put those in and put these over here and move that thing over here, this whole piece," and the next thing you know, they're spending way more.
I don't know, Tanner, you might be able to answer it because I haven't really been in the field much for the last year and a half, but it used to be quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't do the work until we bid it and we told them what the number was.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of the times it really depends on your client. Like my dad was saying, you know, we build a relationship with a lot of these people, and it's trust. I mean, they really do. I mean, a lot of the people that we've dealt with, I have in my personal phone, they become friends, and it's not even so much about the money. Some people, you got to stick with the budget. I mean, we build everything. But, you know, when you get in there and you get in a backyard and they want what they want, money's not always an object, you know? I mean, we'll cater to a budget, of course. But it's really kind of cool because you develop that trust, and it's not how much, it's when can you do it? You know, how fast can you get it done? That's what makes it fun, and we have a relationship with almost all of our customers when we're done. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many times they've turned into friendships more than they have anything. I mean, it is business, but at the end of the day, we develop good relationships with everybody.
Well, that's when we put the cowboy hat on everybody, because we're out there in the community. We want people to get to know each other. If you guys seen the Cardinal Cowboy, what I do running around, it's all about building those relationships, building a brand that people can trust, something that people can say, I know the job's going to get done right. It sounds like over time you guys have obviously built that, and that's where you've left your legacy right now.
Right.
Turning it over now here to your kids, to
Right.
your sons, to make this happen.
Right.
I had something I wanted to throw in here if it makes a little sense, but we talked a little bit about athleticism and how you guys have to be kind of strong guys to do this kind of work. And if you're out there actually doing a lot of the work, obviously some of that you have to do too. Sports background. You had an interesting. Are you comfortable talking about where you played a little baseball in your career, Karl?
Yeah. Yep. Went to Lafayette High School.
Okay.
Got drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers after my senior year. Played 3 years with them in the minor leagues, and then with the Boston Red Sox for 2.5 years. I played in the outfield with the Brewers and pitched with the Red Sox.
So they converted you from a.
Well, they didn't know what they wanted to do with me because I was a 5-tool athlete.
Oh wow.
I could do it all.
Okay.
And but yeah, no. So that's why they look the way they look. Of course, their mother's 5'10". So
Okay. Well, having a tall mom will help with that too.
Right.
But yeah, do you think some of that athletic background, some of what you learned from sports, we talked a little bit about it before the show. I think I came out of a coma because of I was so driven to survive, to win, and to conquer and to be successful. Do you think you got some of that same drive from playing sports, baseball in particular?
Oh, absolutely. It's work ethic. You know, no matter what you're doing or what you're involved in. Number one, if you like what you're doing, then you need to do it well and go above and beyond, no matter what profession you're in, you know. And that's kind of the way it's always been with me. And I'm sure he's got it. I know he's got it, and I know he's kind of got it. I don't know about him yet because he's not out in the field as much as we are.
Once you get out into the field, you really get to deal with
I'm just teasing.
Okay.
He works a lot.
All right. Well, yeah. So some of that athletic competitive background, did you pick up on that? Does that help you learn a little bit and get in there and make this thing work for your business?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the big reasons I like to be out in the field and talk to these customers and do what we do. You know, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning going to the gym in the morning, so my morning started before most. You know, and the big thing is that it works really, really well for me to be able to communicate with all those people. But at the end of the day, like my dad was saying, you know, my brother drives a lot of getting this stuff back to customers fast. And although I can do that front and I can talk to those people, it's nice knowing that, you know, I can be that face, but our communication's fast, and that's because of him, you know. He's got the back end, I got the front end, and at the end of the day, it works really well together for both of us to be in there. You know, it's fun.
Well, and what's that like a little bit? Because this is a dynamic that often is true for smaller businesses where they're working with their family. And so we had a family business for a long time, educational center. But you can hold your feet to the fire a little bit more. Is that true, Carl? You can say, hey,
oh, yeah.
These are my kids. They can't just say, I quit and walk out the door. I'm going to see them at night at the dinner
They
table.
do it anyway.
Well, what's that like working together? So does that help make a better product for everybody? Because a little bit more accountability there? I'll get Tanner's take on this too.
Yeah, it is. Tanner and I butt heads quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
Always have.
Okay.
Marcus probably is the most even-keeled out of all of us.
Gotcha.
He just kind of listens to us and then blows us off after he hears enough.
Okay.
But yeah, Tanner and I go at it pretty good sometimes. His mom has to intervene.
And is that a competitive background?
Yeah.
But it's a striving to do the best you can to produce the right product to give the client. And you have different perspectives, different experiences, but you're going to make this. You want to make the best outcome for your client.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, you know, at this point, I still own the company,
Right.
but they're going to own it.
Right.
But I still want my input.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't want to hear it, you know, and I just make them listen.
Well, there, Tanner, is that working well for you? I mean,
You know,
drive you a little bit there, pushing you a little bit.
It's not so much that we do butt heads, but it's a different time. Things get operated a little differently now, and from email and text that he's not so familiar with. It's kind of the new age of things. You know, kind of like I was saying before, it works really well. I can communicate with these customers really well. And that's what, you know, keeps them kind of intrigued or, you know, engaged, is the fact that we do we're quick with things. Now, with that being said, that's, again, where my brother's even keel. I'll be kind of the pit bull, and we'll go out there and we'll be in people's faces. They need that attention. I'm there for them. But at the same time, if we need numbers or if we need, you know, logistic stuff, you got my brother in the backside of it. And that's what keeps the business as successful as it is now. You know, you got me in the front end, and you got him really being able to pick up the backside of it with all the you know, emails and accounting and all that good stuff. I mean, that's what's really made it what it is now. Me and my dad run a business together, we'd kill each other.
Okay. And I see Marcus over there. He's the even keel. We're going to get to meet him in the next show here. So we do 2.5 hours here as we're going to pump some cool air in here. The studio gets a little warm as we continue here. And Tanner's doing a great job when he's off camera, making sure you can tell the way the cameras are operating here. We make this very mechanical and automated as we can. So keep up the good work there. Well, tell me, what is it? We talked about this a little bit before the show too. What is it that really sets you guys apart? A couple key things that you guys mentioned that were really interesting to me. What do you think really sets you guys apart from the competitors?
I think a big part of it is we're able to do what the big guys do. And because we're not a big guy, we give the homeowner or our customer the attention that some of the big companies don't.
Sure.
I think that's a big part of, but you know, like today I went and looked at a job we just finished. I very seldom do that, but he said, you need to go check this out. Look at it for me, because he didn't have time to go look at it. Well, I found a couple things that I didn't like about it. So we're going back to fix what I didn't like about it. Now the homeowner may have never said a word about it,
Right.
but that's not how we roll.
Right. I get you.
So we're going back to make it right, you know. Now, if he would have went and saw it, he probably would have said the same thing, but he didn't have the time to go. That's why he said, hey, go by and look at this for me. I think that's what separates us. We try to do things the right way, the best of our ability, and when one of us goes in behind our crew and we don't like something, we fix it. We make it the way we would want it in our yard. So I think that's huge. I really do, because I think a lot of the companies run around out there right now, especially doing what we do, there's so many of them that are kind of overwhelmed and they don't pay attention to detail, probably as much as we do. And I think that's why we get so much referral business. We get a lot of referrals. And I really do believe that's the biggest reason, is because we pay attention.
So Tanner, is that a competitive advantage? That's what sets you guys apart? You agree with that?
Yeah,
Does that
I
make
mean,
it
you kind
easier
of
for
hit the nail on the head there. One of the big things that we've, taken on as a business is having project managers. One of our project managers I went to school with, I've known him 15 years. The other project managers know my brother for 20, 25 years. And having those guys, plus me, plus my dad when we need them, I don't care how many jobs you got going on. Someone is on site, every single day. If that's talking to a customer or making sure something's done right, not much gets past us. And that's, we might have to go back and fix something, but we're going to do it right and get it right the first time. And if we have to go back, we will. But you know what? That's keeping an eye on a job and not just sending a crew out there. You're not getting sold and then just stuck with a crew. You're getting sold, but you're along the way. That's why we develop relationships with most of these people. At the end of the day, we're so attentive to detail. We have somebody there at all times. So that's what I think really sets us apart is, we can, like my dad's saying, it can be a $5,000 job or a $500,000 job. But we can do it, and the quality, you don't have to worry about it. There's no worries, there's no concerns. You're going to get the best product we can. So.
Well, that's what we'd like to emphasize. As small businesses, they don't have the multi-billion-dollar budgets, which also causes things to get kind of lost in the mix. But at the same time, they can be very adaptive and very responsive and make changes and decisions quickly. It allows a big advantage. And if you guys obviously do the work the right way, and even when it's not done completely 100% where you want it to be, you can quickly respond and make that happen.
That's correct.
Yep.
Okay. Well, and tell me, as we're almost done with the first half hour here, everybody. These guys got a lot of great information, so we're going to give them another half hour here. Marcus is going to join us here. But tell me a little bit about, I can imagine this is a very expensive purchase for most people. I mean, I can imagine some of the jobs you may do are maybe a $500 little job here or there, but most of them are going to start at $3,000 to $5,000, I can imagine. And some people are spending $600,000 or more. Big decision here. What's the biggest mistake that people make when they're commissioning this kind of work?
I think I just ran into it yesterday. I had a gal call me. It's ignorance. Yeah. They don't know anything about what they're wanting to have done. And it's like they're trying to get lucky to find somebody that's going to come in and do the job the correct way.
Rolling the dice.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue. I don't like it when I go in. Whether it's my job that I did and I don't like it, or it's like what happened to me yesterday. These poor women, they don't know any better.
Right.
And they hired a contractor to come in and do an application, and I looked at that and I just told the lady, I said, "Who did this?" And I said, "No, don't tell me. I don't want to know."
Right.
I said, "But if you want it fixed, we can do it." And they don't ask enough questions.
Sure.
And they don't get enough bids.
Right.
And when you're taking bids, you got to do your research. You got to find out who you're dealing with. Because there's a lot of guys running around out there that are, I call them kind of weekend warriors. They may not have insurance. And that's a big thing.
Yeah.
When you're digging around somebody's backyard, there's a lot of things that need to happen. Number one, you better call Dig Right. We don't touch anything until we get notification from them that we're good and it's been marked. But I've seen a lot of jobs that they're just digging holes or whatever they're doing in the backyard. There's no marks in the yard. But I think that's the big thing, is that I think they don't talk enough to people, and I think that people don't know what questions to ask. They know what they want. You know what I'm saying? They know what they want, but they don't know the correct questions to ask a contractor. And that's where we tell people, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. And our appointments might take a little more time than other contractors that visit with them, but at least they know exactly what's going to happen. You know, and that's the key. You do it right the first time, because it's expensive to go back. Do you think I want to go back and fix something?
Right?
No, I don't want to do that. So we try to do it right the first time.
Do it right the first time. Saves you a lot of money in the long run. So
Right.
to undo everything and then do it over again. Tanner,
Right.
how often are you spending time helping people to understand all of this? Because there's a lot. This is what your job is primarily.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that we still don't do, and I don't know that we'll ever have to, but we do a lot of appointments, and we don't charge for that. You know, that education that you're getting, I encourage people to get estimates all the time. It might sound crazy, but when they're spending $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, even more, you know, I encourage people to go get that estimate. Go talk to other companies out there. You know, I couldn't tell you how many times, and we're dealing with a couple right now, that we have come in after the fact. Someone was advertised, they saw it online, they saw it wherever they did, they clicked, they put money down, and they didn't get what they paid for, you know?
Wow.
So at the end of the day, that's what we try to avoid. Educate them as much as you can. I encourage them to go elsewhere and get their estimates, and not many don't come back. Most do, you know?
Right.
So that's huge.
Well, good stuff there, guys. Let's show a little bit with everybody. If you will take a look here, you can see this is our wide angle shot, but behind us we've got the website. So I'm going to put this up on the wall. Everyone take a look here. If I got the right buttons, there we go. And you can see here, beautiful looking website. A lot of great work. You can see what you guys have put together here, and a lot of good questions and answers have been answered here. But what we offer, and then a gallery. So I'm going to show this to everybody here. A long list of things that you guys can do. Obviously, anything to do with outside, and then your gallery. If you want to see some great looking work, everybody, take the time to check that out, because here is where you will see some incredible work.
When's the last time we updated?
From
A while.
but with the history you've got some great looking stuff here. So from pavers to pools and outdoor landscaping and just about anything you could imagine. All that information, great stuff for people to enjoy and appreciate. So take a minute, everybody, and check out the website there. That is olstl.com, and let them put together a project for you. How long does the bidding process take? What is it? They call you up and you go out and visit with them, and it could take 10 minutes, it could take an hour.
It depends. If they get me involved and they ask me to help them, a day.
Okay.
But if they don't ask me and he's slammed, couple, 2 or 3.
Okay.
But it's really fast. It's always fast.
Very, very rarely is it 2 or 3 days. It's, again, one thing that's kind of cool about dealing with us. If you call me, we schedule a meeting, you're getting a bid day of. And if you're not, something's going on. And I'll tell you straight up when I meet with you.